She legally signed your daughter.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dad Talk. Today we've got a little bit of a tearjerker tonight. I'm here with the Maddox family. We got the news yesterday. I saw the news about Kevin's daughter, Aleyah, and it's probably some of the worst news that a parent could ever get. You know, leading up to this though, guys, Kevin went through a family court battle just like many of us have. And I wanted to bring the family on tonight to tell you a little bit about that struggle and what that was like. From the left, we've got Lisa, which is Kevin's mom, and that's Kevin in the middle in the white, Tanisha, and Dana over to the right. How are you guys doing right now? I know this has got to be an incredibly difficult time.
Not good.
Kevin, tell us a little bit about what's going on, man. What was some of the events leading up to the news that we just received?
Well, I've been playing for my daughter for a long time or whatever, and like I was being nice and letting her go during spring break when I had custody of her. I had primary custody of her of 2019. Yeah, I gained custody of 2019. She was going to school and everything, and when spring break hit, I was being nice and let Greta have our child. And then I was talking to her for a couple of weeks or whatever, and then like when it was almost time to bring my daughter back, she cut off all communication with me. I haven't heard or seen my daughter in almost since March of 2020, and I've been going to the courts. They've been giving me a runaround. They've been not telling me anything. And she was in school and everything. And it's like, it's hard right now. It's hard for me to even talk about this right now because my daughter is gone. And it's like nobody wanted to help. But if it was me, and that was me, if they did keep my daughter, did everything to me. If that was the other way around. And it's not cool. I'm not happy. I'm unsatisfied with it. I'm unsatisfied how my daughter died, how Royal died. It's not a good thing for me. It's not a good thing for my family. And I just need to know why. I just need to know why. Like, this is not cool. This is not something anybody can just wake up the next day and cope with.
No.
Not a good thing, man. And then she took my daughter out of the States multiple times without my permission. Is a problem. Now the result of that is my daughter is dead, and her sister is dead.
I'm so sorry, man. And you know, guys, we've seen this so much. It's to go back through that. Kevin had full custody. He let her go off with her mom, and then they just didn't bring back, and they go across state lines. And there should be some type of consequences for this, but it rarely seems. And I got to agree with you, Kevin. Had this been the other way around, you'd be under the jail right now. Let's be honest. You'd be under the jail right now. And they know that this is going on. What were some of the responses when you reached out to the police, when you reached out to the courts? What were some of the responses you got to this?
She kidnapped my daughter, man.
Yeah.
He's asking, when you got in touch with them folks, what were some of the responses that they were giving you when you were calling them?
And then on top of that, like when I asked for a wellness check, I called Arizona and asked for a wellness check. They called me back. Actually, I had to call them back because they never called me back. So I had to call them back and said, well, anything happened? Any results? So they said, oh, well, the child is good, the mother is good, everything's good, but everything is not good because I had primary custody. She lived in Melville, New Jersey, and she had no right being in Arizona when the courts was taking their time to give me help. And at the time, I needed help. And the court, the system, everybody took their time. And like I said before, the result of that is that my daughter is gone. And another life is taken because she was miserable. because she lost another court date.
Right.
You know that my daughter belonged in New Jersey. And I went to court September 3rd. And then 2 days later, I found out that my daughter is dead. Not cool. Not good. That's not sitting good with me right now, nor my family. And my family loves me. And it's not sitting good with none of us. It's not, man.
You know, not only should there be consequences for your ex over this, whoever dropped the ball on this, when you reached out to them and said, look, my daughter was kidnapped, they're not going by the custody order, I believe there should be some consequences. Whoever let this slip through their fingers.
Burlington County, the whole court system of Bristol, New Jersey, giving me the runaround, making me wait like another month to have court. And now, and results of that is that my daughter's gone because they didn't step up and do what they're supposed to do. And now my 9-year-old daughter's gone. And I'm not going to say nothing about Mike and his daughter, but his daughter is gone too. 2 lives got taken. I feel for Mike, I understand, but he had a chance to say something too before these 2 little girls got killed. And he knew that they were down there and she belonged to New Jersey. He knew this. And now the result of that his daughter's gone and my daughter's gone because he neglected to open his mouth and speak out. And he knew the situation. He knew the situation.
For anybody that's tuning in right now for the first time that hasn't heard about this, it was not only Kevin's daughter, it was 9 years old. I believe the stepsister was 4.
Royal McIntyre, she was 4 years old. And looking.
4 years old. There was 2 children that lost their life due to this. This is the seriousness that the courts seem to just completely overlook. These are some of the consequences of when you don't do your job and protect the children. We've got companies like Child Protection Services, and this kind of stuff is just completely slipping through the cracks.
I called DIFES. I called the police stations. I called everybody to try and give me some help. Nobody seemed like they wanted to help me. So I just went to court myself. This is not good, man. My daughter's life was taken for some odd reason, whatever she was going through. Negligence. What's some other words? Like nobody wanted to help me. Nobody wanted to listen. It's not a good look. It's not a good look on the justice system or like the courts. It's not a good look. And everybody failed me and my daughter. And I am upset about that. Not only me, a whole bunch of people.
And rightfully so. You know, when we experience that parental alienation, I know a lot of times it's looked at just with the parent. I don't know how much you guys would want to comment on this, but Lisa, Dana, and Tanisha, what was it like for you seeing Kevin fight for his daughter and to see like it just feels like he kept getting ignored?
Kevin been going through this for a long time with this girl, and she even used to give me issues about coming to get Aleyah, and I just left it alone. But everything we told him to do to go to court, and as far as DIFES concerned, they all failed him. They didn't want to help him. They kept giving him the runaround the court system.
To me, it seems like COVID was the background excuse. We couldn't do anything because of COVID. COVID issues, COVID this, COVID that. There was still a situation where one state could have reached out to another state. There was an order in place for her to return, meet him at the Phoenix airport at a certain given time. She cut off all contact and literally went ghost on him. And at that point, he started reaching out to whatever authorities he could reach out to, and everything else became priority except his voice. They took his voice from him. He had no voice.
Right. Tanisha, what about for you? I know a lot of times people don't see, you know, you got the rock behind the person, you know, that's going through these situations. I know my wife, when I was going through mine, was there for me every step of the way. What has it been like for you seeing Kevin go through this?
The entire situation has been very stressful. People may not know, but he literally cried. He literally goes through stuff just on a regular, just because he wasn't communicating with her or not knowing. Like, I wonder if my daughter is okay. You know, I hope she's good, because it's been a year and a half since he's communicated and even heard, you know, his daughter's voice. He hasn't seen her in a year and a half. So he's been stressed out. Like, it's not easy. And then we have a 1-year-old, and it's like, we're home, and he's like, I wish Aleyah was here. Like, she's missing seeing her growing up, you know, getting everything together. And then, you know, just regular day to day, it's like thinking about what are we going to do when Aleyah gets back? You know, the plans of, you know, what we're going to do, getting them into gymnastics. She's going to love this and she's going to love that. And he's like, I just can't wait till she gets here. And even up until the time when he did the court date on the 3rd and he got that news that she'll be home, he started looking up flights right away. He was like, I never flew before, you know, trying to get himself prepared and ready, because he's willing to do that to get his daughter back. And getting that news days later is just like all of this fighting, all of this hard work that he did,
For nothing.
you know, contacting people. We literally had diapers in New Jersey trying to get through. Millville Police Department, like contacting Arizona. It's just every response, every feedback that we got was, you know, it's out of our hands here in New Jersey. You have to contact Arizona. You contact Arizona and she's telling them, oh, there's a no contact order. Where is it at? Come to find out, the no contact order never even existed. So how did you guys like allow that? How did you guys even allow that to be without actually knowing for a fact in your system that there's a no contact order? And here we are.
You might have already explained this. There was a restraining order. What was that for? You said there never was one, but what was that supposedly supposed to be for?
She was feared for her life.
She feared for her life.
She was 3,000 miles, but she was fearing for her life.
And what sort of investigation followed that to back up her claims?
Hold on, I got you. Hold on.
Go ahead, bud. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is what happened. When she took my daughter out of state, she got a restraining order on me out of New Jersey, just so I couldn't talk to my daughter. Because if I was talking to my daughter, that's how she would win. And that's probably why I probably got locked up. If I recalled her, if I told my daughter, when it's court ordered, then I talked to my daughter. It was every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Wednesday, something like that. The thing is, she put that that restraining order on me just so she could have distance from me. So I couldn't talk to my daughter. She's being spiteful, ignorant, everything you could think of. She kept my daughter away from me, and it's not good. I can't cope with this. I'm trying not to cry right now. She knows she's wrong, and she knows she did wrong by both and all of her kids. She lost custody of her oldest son. Her dad went to Arizona to get her. I wish I could have went with him to go get my daughter. I did not know that I would wake up one day and go to work and find out that my daughter is gone. And especially when I was fighting for her so hard. It's not a good look. And she think that it's just gonna be easy and she gonna get off. No, you killed both of your kids. It's not a good look. And if she thinking about claiming insanity or anything like that, you know what? It don't even matter. It's not a good look. These courts and these police stations, all these sheriff departments, they failed me and my daughter. And it's not a good thing. My 9-year-old daughter and her sister is gone because of this, because of negligence. The courts are going to keep giving me the run around, keep pushing court dates back and everything. And now my daughter is gone because of this. And I've been fighting for almost 3 years for my baby girl. Hold on.
I got you, man. You know, I know you mentioned, Dana, you was mentioning COVID, and you got the restraining orders. That was one of the tricks that was being played. What were some of the other things that she was doing trying to keep you from your daughter, Kevin?
They never existed, man. And it was like, why did it take for my daughter to die to find out that the restraining orders never existed? Why did it take that? They should have had their foot on her neck a long time ago. Especially when she was sitting there making up false statements about these restraining orders. They should have been on her neck. Because if that was me, they'd have been came and kicked my door in, threw me on the ground, punched me in the face, everything. But no, since it's a mother, it's a different story. No, it shouldn't be a different story. It shouldn't be a different story, man. That's not cool, man. It's still not floating with me right now, man. I work too hard for my daughter, for my family, man. I work too hard for that. I go to work every day, man. And then for the judge to ask her if she working and says she working under the table, no, that's not good enough. If you can't provide for your family, you should have been returned my daughter to me. If you can't handle that. Sorry for yelling, man.
No, you're good, man. I mean, I think everybody knows what you're going through with it, man, and that's what we're here to do is support.
Not kill them. Don't kill your kids because you can't take care of them. Get it together, man. Come on, man.
Kevin, you mentioned, you know, that she killed them. I know I saw some of the media that was out on this already, and I know there's still investigations and everything to go. But since you mentioned that a little bit, can you tell us what they're thinking happened in the apartment?
Basically,
and if you guys can't speak on that right now, that's fine too.
I got you. Excuse me, Jeremy. Excuse me. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, basically, when September 3rd came, and the other court days that happened, when she lost every single one of them, when she lost every single one of every court date, and she lost it. She had to lose it because at September 3rd, when at court, she found out that she was going to be on child support, and she was going to have to bring my daughter. Well, I was going to have to go there to Arizona to get my daughter. She didn't take that too well. I know she did because it happened Wednesday. My daughter died. She died on Wednesday, right? I had a court date on Monday. She died on Wednesday. I didn't find out till Friday.
Explain everything that happened prior
And
to that.
I don't know anything. It happened Wednesday. It happened out there.
You're fine, man. Get it out.
Can I chime in? Well, from what I'm understanding, we're getting sketchy details because it's still an open investigation.
Yes, sir.
It was definitely a murder, but it was also an attempted suicide involved. She tried to commit suicide. Right now, as we speak, she's in the hospital. We can't get any information as far as her injury, but she did major harm to herself. She's in a coma, from what we understand. Or what a detective forwarded this information to us from Phoenix. So, her husband or whatever that situation is came home to find the two girls deceased and find that she had done major harm to herself. And at that point there, I'm assuming he called the police or somebody in the area called the police. He was taken into custody, questioned, and then released. So basically, her boyfriend / husband, whatever their title is, he actually walked in on the crime scene.
Can I say something?
Yeah, man. Go ahead, brother.
Man, I'm not sure if he was her husband or boyfriend. It necessarily don't even matter right now. Like I said, he had plenty of chances to say something. He knew the court order that was involved. He had plenty of chances to say something. It's been almost 3 years.
If it was wellness check, if you
with the wellness checks, I get. They were gonna check on my daughter, and nobody never said anything to me. I had to call the cops back because they never said anything to me. And that was like a while back. But he had plenty of times to make sure that my daughter was okay and that his daughter was okay. He knew the court order. He knew what was going on. She knew what was going on. She knew the court order. And the courts and the system just kept on failing me, giving me the runaround, canceling court dates and all that stuff when they know that my daughter was supposed to be returned to New Jersey. To my home, to where she lived at. She missed school. She missed a whole bunch of family events.
How they signed up for school?
She missed her birthday. I signed her for school.
Over there in Arizona.
I don't know that.
Exactly.
That's
She-
And then on top of that, she signed up for school out in Arizona.
How did she do that?
And I haven't heard from my daughter or Mike or anybody.
Loretta went and signed Aleyah up for Social Security. She signed her up for school, but we need to know how, because she didn't, the records was here. So how did she go to Arizona and sign Aleyah up for school, social SSI, I mean, and had her IEP evaluation? How did she do that when he got all the paperwork here?
That's definitely some questions that need to be answered.
Excuse me, and then trying to make it seem like my daughter has a severe case of ADHD. She is autistic and everything. My daughter is not autistic. She was doing that
Just for a check.
just for a check. I didn't say it like that, but that's what it is.
No, call it for what it is, man.
That's what it is. Like only to get money. And you tell me my daughter seemed like she was crazy, like autistic, and she had ADHD. And all kids are hyper. My 1-year-old's hyper. It don't mean she got ADHD or she got autism.
But when you signed her up from school here, she went to school with no problem.
She-
She started reading.
when I signed her- When I signed up for school in Millville, she was going to school. She was missing her mom, but it was things that her mother was putting her through while she was trying to be focused in school.
Yeah.
That was not a good thing.
Yeah, she came.
She kept on telling her this and that, making her trying to make her do things that you shouldn't teach a child. You shouldn't teach a child that. It's not a good thing. And
Okay.
gosh, she did my daughter wrong. She did her 4-year-old daughter wrong. This is not a good thing. This is not something that should be took lightly. The courts, everybody, they failed us. They failed my family, my daughter. They failed her daughter. And I need justice for both of these children, not just my daughter, because that would not be fair.
Also,
Royal and Aleyah.
also talk about when one of her other kids' dad went and got their son. He was that the kids were being neglected.
So, should I mention Greg? So Greg is Retta's other father. I mean, other daughter's father. I mean, other son's father. Sorry, I'm a little emotional right now. Hold on.
No, you're fine, bud.
Retta even lost custody to her oldest son because of these circumstances. And I told Greg, I told Isis that's Elijah's brother and sister, that it could have been her, it could have been Elijah. Their lives could have been took because of this situation right now. Because this situation, they understand, but it's like, where's our justice at? So you gonna take these two little girls' lives, and you make it. You still got breath in your lungs. You still got breath in your lungs, but these two little girls are gone. This is not. The system failed us big time, and it's not a good thing, man. Something has to give, man. Like, my heart breaks every day, and this is not a good thing.
The system's going to have to answer for this one. This is something we're going to make sure. What county did you say that was that went down in again, Kevin?
Maricopa County.
Maricopa. What about the local courthouses that you were trying to get something going through?
Cumberland County, Burlington County, Atlanta County. I said that right. Yeah. Okay. All these counties out here, even Arizona.
I'm gonna get with you after we get off because I want to I want to make sure this gets out there to them. You know, the crazy thing is you talk about, you know, she did it just because she wanted a check. That's the only thing that can make sense, because it's like, by the time you kill your children and then try to kill yourself, why couldn't you have just said, Dad, take the kids. I can't do this. You know, that's the most incredibly selfish part of this. Why would you do this to an innocent child?
Instead of just giving my daughter back to me, where she would have been fine and she would have been good here, and she would just give her back. But no, she didn't like the fact that I had custody of her and she was coming back home. She didn't like that. She didn't like that at all. She actually didn't like me. I know why. Because she knew that I was doing everything I could to make sure that my daughter was going to be good. And she didn't like it at all. She didn't like it. That's why the court system failed me. The counties, everybody failed me because they want to listen to Redder. They want to listen to her and keep the baby away from me. Like I'm a deadbeat dad or something. When I'm busting my behind to go to work every single day, I don't miss work for nobody. I didn't miss family events because I was going to work to make sure my girls were safe. My girls were taken care of. They didn't care about none of that. Why? Because she's the mother? Is that why? It don't work like that, man. It don't work like that. I am not no deadbeat dad. I love my kids, man. This is not a good thing to cope with or to even handle right now. My family is grieving right now. I got people at my job grieving. I got people I don't even know grieving. Because my daughter is going. Because these little girls are going. And she's in the hospital. You still got breath in your lungs. Your daughters are going. That's selfish as hell. That's not a good thing. I'm trying not to cuss, man, but these emotions coming out, man. I'm trying not to cry, man. Yep. My daughter is going, man.
Guys, I've got a comment pinned down there in the Facebook and on the YouTube. That is the link to the GoFundMe. We together can come together as a community and make sure that we help Kevin with this process. I know I talked to the family earlier today and yesterday. You want to get your baby girl home.
Can I say something? I got to say one thing. I actually got a lot to say, but I'm just going to say this. I don't like the fact that I talked to Mike. I talked to him already. Her so-called husband, whatever. I just don't like the fact that on my GoMe fund thing or whatever. What is it?
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. I don't like the fact that I'm not being mentioned. He making it seem like it's like they his daughters. No, that's my 9-year-old daughter. And everybody asking that he okay. He got pictures sitting next to him, making it seem like this is his kids. The 4-year-old was his daughter. That's it. I had primary custody of my daughter, man. That's my daughter. That's my baby. That's my light-skinned bomb.
You're damn right it was. You're damn right. And that brings up a whole other topic where it seems like certain people come in and try to replace. And then, I mean, it seems like as a father, you're undervalued all the way around. And then,
all because she was in Arizona. Nobody know about me out there. Everybody know Mike. Everybody giving him love. Everybody showing him appreciation. Appreciation for what? You have one 4-year-old little girl out there. That 9-year-old little girl, that precious little 9-year-old girl, that was mine. That was my baby. Don't be old Mike go meet fun talking about my babies and all this and that. No. My name is Kevin. That's my toots. That's my toots. That's my Aleyah. And my baby is going because you could open your mouth, and if Retta would have did the right thing, she could have had her right back in the summertime with the 8 weeks. But no, she didn't like the fact that I was winning. I was going hard for my baby. I was doing everything I could for my daughter. Nobody wanted to mention my name. Nobody wanted to mention Kevin, but they mentioned Mike's name real fast. He on the news. Nobody knows. Nobody knows nothing about me because they were already out there in Arizona. Why has my name have not been brought up? I'm hurt right now. He on the news crying by a pastor. I could have been on the news crying by a pastor. But no, nobody know me. Nobody know that little girl, the 9-year-old little girl was my daughter. And now that nobody trying to help me, my daughter is gone. Can any of y'all imagine when your kids being gone? My family is here with me right now. They had their kids. It's not a good look. And if Mike, forget Mike. I'm just talking about Retta. Retta should have did she should have did the right thing. Instead of keep my daughter from me, kept on giving of course the run around, trying to have me on child support, trying to do anything bad to trying to hurt my heart. Why is my baby crying?
So we're gonna talk about your GoFundMe. Please. Go ahead. You could go on about the GoFundMe page, please.
Yes. So guys, we want to get Aleyah home, and just to touch on this really quickly, if I can, Kevin, for anybody that didn't know about this or is saying, he's all on the TV, look like dad. You had somebody that would rather do this to their kids than to give them back to dad. You don't think that they wouldn't try to erase dad, went all the way to Arizona? This is how this kind of stuff happens. And then they'll turn around and make it look like, well, here was the deadbeat dad right here. No, this is dad that's doing everything he can to be inside of his children's life. That's the disgusting part of this.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Deadbeat is nothing next to my name. I'm far from that. No. Ain't no deadbeat over here. They cannot say that about me. If they want to say that about somebody else, I don't know about her husband or something, because I'm handling mine. That's not that deadbeat is nothing next to my name. Oh no. You continue that. Just want to throw that out there right quick.
Oh no, that's it, man. But I think that's the reason that the system doesn't step in and do something sooner, because that's how they try to paint fathers. It just is. And this is some of the situations that you're dealing with behind the scenes. You've got fathers fighting tooth and nail to be inside their children's lives, and the system is failing them. They're not listening to what they've got to say. And guys, we could sit there.
They think everybody's a deadbeat father. That nobody want to be with their kids. That nobody care about their kids. And that is not true. Because I love my babies. I love my babies. That's not true, man.
Kevin, I know you're wanting to get your baby girl home. Tell everybody what you're wanting to get done. And guys, I'm asking you, if you can, I know a lot of people are battling situations similar to what we're talking about tonight. We can come to it together as a community and make this happen.
Okay, so this is exactly what I want. I want justice for these two little girls. I want the courts, the police station, everybody who neglected me and my daughter. When I reached out to them, when I had my family reach out to them, and everybody neglected us, why can't they should have to pay for this? Because if they had put their foot on her neck and on a court order, my baby and his baby would have still been here right now. But they did not do anything. They told me, oh, well, you're going to have court another day. You got to talk to them this day. You got to talk to this person. No. Somebody has to be accountable for this. Because this is not good. This is not good. This is not good, man. Now the result of this is two little girls' lives are gone because of negligence from the courts, the police station, the sheriff's department, and the sheriff's department. They should be the big dogs. Why they ain't do nothing? Negligence, man. Not taking my voice serious. Now, like Dana said, I didn't have a voice because nobody's paying attention to me. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Now, the result of that, again, is that my daughter and her little sister is dead.
You have to bring Aleyah back home.
And I want my daughter brought back here. I want both of these little girls brought back to Jersey. I need both of them brought back to Jersey. And
nobody plans for this to happen. Nobody plans to bury their child. So, if you guys could donate anything, $5, $10, whatever it is, we would appreciate it. Because we want our baby girl back home, so she could be here with us
I need both of them back. I need both of them back. I need both these little girls back because it's not just me that's going through it. She lost. I mean, oh my God, I'm so frustrated.
You're good, man.
Her brother, their older brother, and her older sister lost 2 sisters, both of them, and that's not a good thing neither. And they also lost their mother, but.
But her brother and sister are over here also. So all of their family is over here. So we need anything
Anything you
help.
can do. Anything you can
so
do.
we could bring our baby back and, send her off the right way.
We are on it. I'm going to make sure that we get this, put out there. And I can't express enough my condolences to you guys. It's hard to find words. You can't. It's hard to make sense out of something that just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Kevin, if there was anything you could say to these, the law or the court system that let you down about what you're feeling right now, because a lot of them don't know what it's like to be in your shoes.
I just want to say, okay, cool. Thank you for nothing. Thank you for failing me and my daughter. I've reached out to y'all multiple times. Y'all kept giving me the runaround. I don't like the law, first of all. But you failed me, my family, my daughter. Y'all broke my heart. I lost my daughter's heart. Y'all wrong for this? Y'all need to do something. Y'all need to be held accountable for these 2 little girls being gone because y'all didn't step up. This is not a good thing. This is not a good thing for anybody. Anybody that lost kids, anybody that has stillborns, anybody that had anything, anybody that lost kids, period. The law should have stepped up and put her foot on her neck, and they never did it. They were looking for her. It's not. They're looking for her too because she's a mom. No. It works both ways. It works both ways.
So not only did the mother murder these kids, so did the justice system. So did everyone else in the law
That didn't do nothing.
that didn't do anything.
They failed
when
to do their
this
job.
father was calling, murdered these kids. Period.
He had primary custody of his daughter. He let her go for the 8 weeks that he was supposed to. When she was supposed to come back, she never brought her back. He lost all communication with her. And now we're here. He goes to court multiple times. He wins all his cases. And not one point did the justice system take her out of her custody once he was winning these cases. And then he goes to court on the 3rd and wins custody again. And then here we are now, sitting here
grieving
because my niece is not here.
And that's my brother. That's my big brother talking.
It's something has to be done. There's too many people out here fighting for their kids, going through this, that, and the third. Just going through their kid, just trying to be in their kids' lives, and then stuff like this happens. If the justice system would have stepped up months and years ago when he started fighting for his daughter, we would not be here right now. We would not be grieving over 2 little girls' lives that's gone. Everybody would be happy. But now we're sitting here. My brother lost his daughter. Another man lost his child, and she attempted to take her life. For what? When all this could have been handled years ago when he first got custody of his daughter. He was following the justice system. He went about it the right way. When she was supposed to get her time with her, he sent her. And then it was time to come back. She come out all this COVID stuff. She can't find time to bring her back, this, that, and the third. They lose communication. And he calling everybody, getting in contact with people, but ain't nobody stepping up to take a little girl out of her custody, knowing that he has primary care of her. She signs her up for school over in Arizona. How? Nobody knows. All the paperwork is here in Jersey. So the schools, how do the schools get paperwork for her to start school?
How do you put a kid in school without shot records?
Shot records and everything else. The Arizona schools failed us. However she got all that, everybody failed. It's a lack of community. It's a failure all around, from the top to the bottom. How do you sign a kid up for school? How do you try to get a kid SSI or whatever she was trying to say that the kid had autism or whatever it was? How do you do that in Arizona when this man right here has primary custody of his daughter? All the shot records and everything is he got it all. So how do you do that? So it's the school systems, it's the justice system, it's DIFUS, it's everybody. It starts from the top, from the bottom. Because he's been winning all these cases, and at not one time was this little girl taken out of that lady's custody. When he won the first case, she should have been, when he started calling from the beginning, when after the 8 weeks, they found out she wasn't going, she wasn't back. The cops should have stepped in. Nothing happened.
Nobody did nothing.
So basically, she kidnapped the little girl. She kidnapped her.
He never lost custody.
He never lost custody of the girl. He never lost custody of her. She kidnapped her, okay, we say June of 2020 what?
She left in March.
March 2021.
March 2020 until we found out the bad news the other day. She's been gone. He haven't heard her voice in a year and a half.
Hasn't seen a picture.
Haven't seen a picture or nothing of her. This is my brother. He's heard that. He don't know what to say right now, but this is what's going on. It starts at the top. From the judicial system, the school system, everybody. Because the school system should never had her signed up because she don't got no record for her. When he started winning these cases, the little girl should have been taken out of her custody.
A long time ago.
Which is like a year and a half we've been doing this, going back and forth to court. No, because if nobody say nothing, they gonna never hear it.
To make a long story short, it just seemed to me like mom's word is law, and Kevin was guilty. He was guilty till proven innocent. It took his voice from him.
Especially the fact that that restraining order did not exist.
And they said it existed.
The restraining order never existed, man. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was fake.
They probably
Restraining
never looked
orders,
into
they
it.
never existed.
They probably never looked into it.
The court and everything, they kept on, that's why they kept on giving me the runaround. They come and say, I have restraining orders from Ms. Landon in Arizona, which never even existed. When Arizona did.
It's like your brother said, you did everything the right way. And by doing it the way that the system told you to, this is the results that we get. Now, if you would have just said, I'm not letting her go, and then you would have been breaking the law, right?
She on his face trying to get Aleyah out that house.
And then I'd have been in trouble because it was her. The day they came down here, she not giving me your daughter back. The day they came to my house, my place of residence, and kicked my door in. Probably attacking my girl and everything. Thinking she had something to do with it. She had nothing to do with it. Just being my backbone. She's my backbone. She got nothing to do with it. My daughter and her little sister was innocent.
The justice system fell. The justice system fell both of the kids.
And the police department. I love you, bro. My brother upset too, just like I am. But they failed us. They failed us, and the result of that, like I said again, like my brother said, she's gone. This 4-year-old little girl's gone. Something has to give. Something has to give, because this is not fair to me, man.
From Jersey to Arizona,
I've been fighting hard for my daughter for the last couple of years, man. Nobody act like they want to help me. My girlfriend reached out to people for me. Nobody act like they want to answer her. This is not a good thing. I've been stressing for like almost 3 years to get my daughter back. Not a good look. This is not good.
Is there anything else, anybody, the family, you, Kevin, that you would like people to know? I know this is an extremely difficult time.
They were two beautiful little girls that did not deserve to have their life taken from them at such an early age. I got a 1-year-old. My only 1-year-old left. She's only 1. She'll be 2 on September 18th, Saturday. And I was trying to reunite my daughter Aleyah, with her sister, with Tanisha, with my mother, with Dana, with my sisters, with her uncle, with her other uncle. They haven't seen them in so long. With my aunties, my other grandmom, both my grandmoms. Nobody's ever gonna get to see her again because she's gone off of negligence. Negligence from the court, from these police departments, everybody. Negligence. If they'd put their foot down a long time ago, my daughter and that other little girl, that 4-year-old, would have still been here. Really probably, I don't know where she would have been at, but our kids would have been here because of negligence. Nobody want to take the time to look into anything. Nobody take the time to do anything. Just give us the runaround. And it's not a good thing, man. It's not a good thing. And her Royal has her big brother, her big sister out there that, and they lost their mother. She's not dead, but they lost their mother.
Right.
She's gonna be gone if she survives. I never wish any hurt on her. I never wish any death on her. But she did that to me. She tried to hurt me, and she did. And she did that, and she hurt her husband too. Hurt everybody around her. Hurt everybody. It's not just it's not about me and Mike. It's about everybody that cared about these little girls. You feel me?
I do. That was, one of the things I was going to talk about, when we go in the family court system and they're talking about parental alienation, a lot of times the spotlight is kind of on mom and dad, but there's a whole other side of the family that is missing out on that time with the child, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles.
Because it's not fair to them either. I didn't just lose a child. That family, Retta's family, lost her and kids too. Like them two lost. They lost their two sisters, their grandma, their uncle. Like it's not just me, and I ain't gonna be selfish about this because it won't be fair.
It takes a village to raise a child, and that's what we were doing when Aleyah was here.
My sister told me last night she had a village that she was coming to that they were gonna be fine. She had family. She had friends. She had sisters, everybody, cousins, everybody that loved her. And like a lot of my family didn't know Royal, but they know her now. Only because she's passed away. And that's stupid. They shouldn't have to know Royal because she died. That's not a good thing. They should know her because that's Aleyah's sister. Not because she passed away. You feel me? And it's not good, man. Like, I got my whole family over here grieving. Like, she kept my daughter. This is not about Royal right now. But when it's about my daughter, she kept my daughter away from my family, including me. Let alone me, but my family also. My family will come to me and say, when we're going to see Aleyah, when we're going to see her. Brother will keep her away. When I had custody of her, I let them see her. But then once I was being nice and let her go to a spring break, and then like once I heard her come back to school, she cut off all communication. I didn't get to hear anything from my daughter. She got bigger. She got taller. Her voice probably changed. Even her oldest brother, he got tall. His voice changed. His own mom cut her own son off. Somebody said she don't love him. She don't care about him. Yes, I'm going to let it be known. She did that to her own only son. Only son. She told him that she didn't care about him. She didn't love him. How do you think that felt to him? He's the only boy. And she told her only son that we don't want to talk to you. You left us. So that's not a good thing. No. She was about to lose custody. She lost custody of Elijah. Let alone lost custody of Aleyah. It's not a good thing, man. That's all, man. I don't know. I don't know what's out to say, man.
No, you're fine, man. You know, we are here for you. Anytime you got my number, day or night. If you need somebody to talk to, we are going to work on this GoFundMe. You rest assured, I'll be doing that in the background. You take care of the plans that you need to be taken care of, and anything that the family or any of you guys need, just, you know, don't hesitate to ask. I will say it's time for the legislature. It's time for the courts to wake up as to what's going on. And the media definitely needs to be behind this. They should be behind this before this is the result.
It should have been happening, but they felt. They, first of all, they only felt me. They felt these two little innocent girls. They failed them. Judicial system, the courthouse, everybody, the police station, the sheriff department, everybody. When it could have been did something a long time ago. A long time ago. Because if that was her, something would happen a long time ago. A long time ago. Can't go get that kid.
Well, I want to talk to you some more about that, but I want to give you some time to take care of what you got to take care of. But we definitely need to go make some noise when it comes to those courts and the police officers and everybody that let you down. They need to hear about this, and we'll make sure that happens.
I appreciate that.
We'll make sure that happens, guys. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we leave tonight?
I would. I want to talk about benefit of the doubt.
Go ahead.
From second one, Loretta was given benefit of the doubt. No matter what, she was automatically assumed to be the right person in the situation. Kevin was presumed to be guilty till proven innocent. I don't know how society portrayed Kevin. Maybe they do it like they do other young black men. Thug, gangbanger, deadbeat, whatever. None of that fits his profile. He's a young, hardworking black man that cares about his family. And today, that seems to be a problem. It seems to be a problem. Now, I hate to play the race card, but it seems to me, white, black, green, or otherwise, a man that loved his kid should be given the benefit of the doubt. But in this case, it was given to Loretta. And that's the sad part, because I know that man would have never thought about doing anything to that 9-year-old girl. That benefit of the doubt took her life. And for anybody sitting back talking about, oh, well, she's the mom, that don't give you the benefit of the doubt. The courts didn't give you benefit of the doubt. If they did, they would not have been living. She would have not been in an address in Millville, New Jersey. The courts didn't give her benefit of the doubt. She took her benefit of the doubt.
When I let her go.
It was set up to let her do that.
Exactly.
It was set up to let her do that. I get more flack with dad talk. People say that I'm making a gender bias issue out of it when I talk about the truth. It is the truth. If you're a father going through this system, again, if these details would have been the other way around, there's no telling what would have happened with Kevin. There's just not. If it was the other way around, it would have been in completely different results. But you're guilty until proven innocent, and she's innocent until proven guilty.
Say it again.
And that's not supposed to be that way in this country. But we see it. Right now, 82.5% of the time, as the latest statistics that I saw, dad's going to be without custody. We are seeing more and more of these cases that before mom will relinquish control, she'll kill herself and those kids. I've seen lots of those cases just over the past year. There is big consequences to that gender bias. And to sit there and say that there isn't a bias when it comes to fathers, you're not doing anybody any favors. This was a father that deserved custody a long time ago. I don't know, guys.
I know you're not crying.
No, it's
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And if you were, let it out. I don't know if I got any tears left, man. I probably do, but it's not gonna happen right now.
no.
It's hard. If you, man, please don't make me cry, man.
No, you're good, man. I just, it's, I'm at a loss of words when it comes to this because when is it going to end? It just seems like this keeps happening over and over, and I am so sorry your family went through that. I want to open it back up to the family again, though. I mean, if there's anything you guys want to get out, that's what this show is for. I'm not trying to make an entertainment show. I want it to be a platform to create change. So if there's anything you guys want to say before we take it out of here, and again, guys, please go and contribute to that GoFundMe. Let's get this little girl home.
But we just basically need, this to touch on other families. We need to protect these kids. So, suicidal is very, very real. Postpartum depression is real, and we need to protect these kids by any means necessary. So if someone may hear, see anything about kids being neglected, they need to speak upon it. It doesn't need to go unnoticed. Even if you have an idea of something that can be going on, speak upon it. So that way, it can be checked up on. It's just sad because these little kids, it's getting younger and younger, and these kids are losing their lives to nonsense. And parents' decisions is sad.
And thank you for that. If you guys see the signs, if you see that some of this is going on, speak up. And I'm not saying if you speak, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say if you speak up, you're going to get the results you want, because that's part of the failed system that we got. And that's where we got to get some changes going. But if we can't stand for the kids, if we can't stand for children and parents, what can we stand for?
Right.
That's right.
I mean, what can we stand for? I mean, if I don't know, guys. Is there anything else you guys would like to say before we get out of here?
Well, I wanna say, I just want the world to know that
Come on.
all moms aren't good and all fathers aren't bad. No matter the color of your skin, we gotta start taking these fathers' words seriously. Start making them be heard by any means. These mothers ain't always got their kids' best interests at heart. And this is the result every time. Not every time, but a lot of the time. And it's sad because it's the kids who pay, and the people they leave behind. So, we just try to help us bring Aleyah home. You can look up on the GoFundMe, help bring Aleyah home, Aleyah, Aleyah, and just, help us like you guys been, and, just keep showing my brother support and praying for my brother, Kevin Maddox. Please, and the family, and we appreciate that.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I think it should be known that Kevin wasn't fighting to make it seem like Greta wasn't a good mother. His fight wasn't to prove that she wasn't a good mother. His fight was for the opportunity to be a good father. So I don't want it to look negative, like he, would do anything or he's doing any of this to spite her or to, he was fighting it to spite her. He was never trying to make her look bad. It was all about being able to be a part of his daughter's life, because his main focus has always been Aleyah. He said from the beginning, you can move to Arizona if you want. Don't take my daughter. His visitations, he got her. When she did her little disappearing acts and she stopped it, he was calling to find out why. So I just wanted to be known that it's not about him trying to paint her as a bad mother. That wasn't the reason for his fight. It was just so that he had the opportunity to be a good father.
I just wanted my daughter back. I want her to be in a good place. I want her to go to school. I want her to enjoy life. And she was full of that. She was full of life. She loved everybody, just like my sister said. She was full of life, and she loved her brother and her sisters. She loved everybody. There's no reason for this. The justice system should have did something before this even happened. They did nothing. It's not a good thing. It's not good on my conscience, nor my family's conscience, nor her brother and sister, nor their family. Not a good thing, man. It's not good. And my heart is still broken because she couldn't do the right thing. And the Justice Department couldn't do the right thing. Now on top of that, now both of these two little girls are dead because they couldn't step up and see that the court order says what it said. 8 weeks during the summertime, bring her back. She never did that. That's not good.
That's court order.
And that's court order. And the thing is about that, if she would have abided by the court order instead of trying to be crazy and everything, trying to take the law into her own hands, trying to beat the system,
Because the court wasn't enforcing.
the system beat both of us. The system beat both of us because now we both don't have a child. She lost 2 kids. 2 kids. Because they didn't do their daggone job. They didn't do their job. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look. I got my sisters over here, my mom, Dana, my oldest brother, and my girl over here grieving because and not only them, my whole family, even Elijah and their family. Because they didn't do their job. Something has to give. I need justice for my toots. I need justice for her.
All this could have been
Whatever you can do, it could have been avoided if they did their job. They didn't do their job. They couldn't put people on the back burner. Nobody wanted to help me. Now the result is, again, like I keep saying, that my daughter is dead. And not just her little sister too.
If this all could have been avoided if the justice system just snubbed up and took the baby out of her custody once they realized that Aleyah was primary custody of Kevin. We wouldn't be here sitting here in front of this camera talking to me right now if all this was just handled the right way. Every time Kevin would call and try to see what's going on, they would put him to the back burner, put him off to the side, like he's not important. And now, and if they were looking at the paperwork, you could obviously see that the primary custody belonged to him. So why didn't there wasn't, like I said before, why didn't there wasn't Aleyah taken out of her mother's custody? And primary custody was to Kevin. They just kept avoiding it. It's like everybody failed. Everybody from the top to the bottom, everybody failed. Everybody. This man been going through this for a year and a half trying to get his daughter back. And now we're sitting here talking about how we're gonna bring her back home in a freaking casket.
And to bury my daughter. This is not good. Whoever think they have to bury their kids? Whoever think that? I always thought I had to bury my mom or something, or bury my dad. I would never think I would bury my kids. Shit. Excuse me.
I'm so sorry, guys. You know, what good is a court order if the court is not going to make them abide by it?
And then they're going to put their foot on it. Like, come on, put that pressure in order.
If the shoe was on the other foot and Loretta would have been calling down to Jersey saying Kevin kidnapped her daughter, the cops would have been kicking Kevin door in, handcuffing Kevin. Kevin would be in jail right now for kidnapping. Now that Kevin called there and the shoe was on the other foot, nothing happened. And like I keep saying, now we're sitting here talking about 2 deceased young kids that lost their life over the justice system not doing their job. So what do we do? If the justice, if like you just said, if it's a court order and the court's not taking order, what can we do? Now, if Kevin went over and found Aleyah and brought her back to Jersey, and she signed kidnapping on him, it'd be a different thing. This could have been avoided so long ago, but it wasn't because people didn't want to step up. The right people didn't step up and do their jobs.
That's why, bro.
They was being lazy and putting everything off. It's like they said, a mother's not always the right place for the child to be. We got his father's out here fighting like my brother was to get his child back. But now I keep saying we got to bring her back in a freaking casket. Not only her, but her little sister. So that's not only one lie, but two lies that we got to try to bring back here. Just because the court's negligence to do what they're supposed to do. Where does it stop at? What are we supposed to do?
Who do we contact?
Who do we contact to figure out what's going on? If they tell this man there's a restraining order on him, he can't get in contact with his daughter. How did they say all of a sudden now it was never a restraining order? Where did the story come up at? Where did they find this fake restraining order at that he couldn't get in contact with his daughter?
What computer system?
Where was he looking this at? Look at this information up at. It's a whole bunch of shit that's going on that nobody got no answers to. But now we need answers. This could have, like I keep saying, this could have been avoided a long time ago.
Yes, because the reaction on the court call when he won custody, the way she reacted, them kids should have been immediately removed. She couldn't handle herself, which is understandable. I was always, send her back. You can't just keep her away from her mom. Never in a million years would I have thought this would happen. Like,
and this is my sister with her emotions, and she just got here.
This is crazy. It's crazy.
And you feel me? Like, I got family all around me, man, and everybody loves my daughter. Everybody don't know Royal, but everybody knows Aleyah. Everybody knows Aleyah. And when I say, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's not a good look. Y'all failed me and my daughter.
From Arizona to Jersey to Mays Landing, Atlantic County, Hamilton, everybody he contacted, all of them got questions to answer. And we need answers because now we're still trying to figure out how we're gonna bring my niece home in a casket. When he just won custody over, now all of a sudden she's gone. She finds out that my brother wins custody. She tells her boyfriend that she think her and the kids got COVID. So she tried to keep the kids away from her boyfriend for a couple days. Come to find out, the whole time they say that she was drugging the kids.
Plotting a murder
for the kids.
Plotting a murder.
She was premeditated.
She was giving the kids Benadryl and everything in the room, trying to fight this daggone COVID or whatever she said she had. The boyfriend seen him on Monday and Tuesday. He left at the house Wednesday, came home, and realized that the house was in a mess. This is what we heard from the detectives. Realized that the house was in a mess. So he goes in the room and sees that the daughters were deceased. He runs in the room, to Loretta's room, and finds out she's hurt herself. That's when she barricaded herself in the room. He kicks down the door, finds her in there, cut up, trying to commit suicide to herself. So all this could have been avoided a long time ago. A long story short, could have been avoided a long time ago.
If the courts would have did their damn job.
And I wasn't at the court, but they said how she reacted at the end of the February, the last court date, that she couldn't handle her. So the baby should have been immediately removed from her custody because they gave him custody that day. He was just waiting for the paperwork to get back so he can go to Phoenix, to Arizona to get the baby. So at that point, when they gave my brother custody of his daughter, she should have been removed from Loretta's custody at that time until the paperwork was filled out that he could come to Arizona to get her.
And another thing is, I don't even feel as though he should have been going back to court. He never lost custody. When she took that baby and she did not come back in the weeks within the time she was supposed to be back,
kidnapping.
They were supposed to go get her. I don't get it.
Let them stand.
I don't get it.
Yeah, but yeah, you see how they feel, right, man?
Oh, I got you, man. I'd be the same way.
He can't tell the whole story because it's emotional. He's going through a lot, but he's been fighting this fight for a year and a half.
He's been fighting this fight since 2018.
Almost 3 years, man. Almost.
Yeah, I said 4 years. That's what I said.
Almost 3 or 4 years I've been doing this, man, and nobody never wanted to help me, man. And now the result, like I keep saying, that my daughter, I will never see her again. They will never see her other sister again. This is not good. I'm emotionally distressed. I can barely eat. I can barely sleep. This is not a good thing. My daughter, I won September 3rd. I never lost custody. She was coming home. Me and my mother was going to get her until I found out Friday. Then I called my mom on the phone while I'm at work. I told my mom that my daughter, I said, Mom, she took my daughter's life. I told my girl that Rita took my daughter's life and took her other daughter's life. My supervisor had talked to my mom because I was so distraught about this. I couldn't even talk to my mom. And then now my mom on the phone not saying nothing. Now I'm worried about my mom. That was her granddaughter. This was my sister's niece. It's not good, man. It's not a good look on her. I want her to survive. Listen, man, I just want justice for my baby. And these two little girls, I want justice.
I got you, man. We're not done with this. We will continue, and I promise we're gonna go get some answers. I know you guys got a lot of questions. They owe you some answers with this. They've failed in many different ways, and somebody needs to be presenting themselves. And
way better than this, man. This not appreciated. It's not. What's that word? This is not good. I need another word. It's not good. It's unappreciative.
Yeah. Well, guys, I will stay.
If this my girl said this is not acceptable, and if this was anybody else in my family, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. They won't take this lightly neither.
No.
You obviously hear their voice, and they voice their opinions. Obviously, it's not their kids, but if it was, it probably would have been deeper. Because this is deep right now. This is not good.
Family is family. And it's good to have family. I'm glad to see you got a good support system, man. Seems like you got a very good loving and support system sitting there with you. So,
well, we appreciate you for reaching out to us.
Thank you so much, man.
I will keep you guys updated as we work on this. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Okay.
After we figure out about Aleyah's homegoing, we're definitely making noise at every place possible. We will be out there with signs from morning to night until we get answers. Period.
We'll be there with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.